Wombat said, "Come in." Illustrated by Brian Wise. Wombat said, "Come in." Illustrated by Brian Wise. Wombat was not worried. No, not a tittle. Fire had passed over his burrow before. Best, he thought, to shelter under my crazy quilt until the trouble passes. But as it often does, a trouble came knocking. "Wally-o!" Wombat. Outside was his friend Wallaby, eyes wide with fright. "Help, Wombat! I can't reach my home. Mama, may I stay with you a while?" Wombat hesitated only for one tick of a clock. Then Wombat said, "Come in, come in." Wombat said, "Come in." From smoke and dim and howling wind, "Come in, my friend, come in." A grateful wallaby hopped inside and was soon twisting in his sleep under a certain crazy quilt. "No worries," thought Wombat. "I'll have a cup of tea in my favorite chair instead." But as he lowered himself into that chair, he heard, "Woo-hoo, ha-ha-ha!" A kookaburra was at the door. He looked scorched and bad-tempered. "Dreadful out there, Wombat. Fire is on the march. Spare room for an old friend?" "I do have quite a few rooms," thought Wombat. And so Wombat said, "Come in, come in." Wombat said, "Come in." From smoke and dim and howling wind, "Come in, my friend, come in." With a laugh of purest joy, Kookaburra commanded Wombat's favorite chair. Kettle on, Wombat, could do with some tea. "Where are my manners?" thought Wombat. Before he could fetch his slippers, he heard, "Help! I can't, achoo!" Without warning, in tumbled Platypus, and out of Platypus tumbled a jumble of words. "Wombat, I can't find my way, and I've lost my shoe, and there's smoke in my nostrils, and..." Wombat patted his pockets for a handkerchief. He found 3. Platypus took them all. "May I stay with you, dear Wombat? It's so hot." Hotness. Oh, the hotness of it all. How, thought Wombat, does Platypus talk so much and say so little? There was only one thing Wombat could think to do. Wombat said, "Come in." Wombat said, "Come in." From smoke and din and howling wind, "Come in, my friend, come in." "Already in," said Platypus. Then she brightened. "Ooh, slippers." As Platypus patted away in Wombat's favorite slippers, she trilled, "Tea and toast, please, Wombat. I'll be in my room." Tea does make a hard day easier to bear, thought Wombat. His clock chimed in agreement, but he already guessed that poor Wombat didn't finish preparing that tea and toast. "Help!" Wombat rushed toward the cry. "Stuck!" gasped Koala as he tugged on a sooty eucalyptus plant, sounding a little bit less friendly than he intended. Wombat said, "Come in." Wombat said, "Come in." From smoke and din and howling wind, "Come in, my friend, come in." "But leave the smelly twig outside," he muttered. "Not smelly," corrected Koala as he gave a branch a yank. It plowed into the burrow, and down went the clock with a clang, lang, lang. "This day," worried Wombat, getting quite out of hand. "You'd like tea, I suppose," he huffed. "No thanks," murmured Koala. "Only leptis." "Well, I must have tea," the Wombat, "with 3, no, 4 lumps of sugar." That sweet thought restored Wombat to his best self. But then he heard, "Wombat bat." "Sugar glider?" "Fire, fire," squeaked Sugar glider. "Come in?" Oh well, what's one more, thought Wombat. So Wombat said, come in. Wombat said, come in. From smoke and din and howling wind, come in my flat. Thwack! Sugar Glider took a flying leap onto Wombat's snout. From there, Sugar Glider launched inside and smashed into the high rack. Zoom! From which he fell onto a nearby tea tray where he tripped over a bowl of sugar cubes. Sugar Glider, do not touch! Too late. Sugar Glider had snuffled up every last sugar cube. Wombat did not trust himself to speak. Seeing his distress, Sugar Glider leaped onto Wombat's tail, pulled a gooey cube from his mouth, and dropped it into Wombat's paw. Then he scrabbled into a pocket. Sleep, sleep, he cooed. Wombat studied the sticky gifts and thought, what an odd day this has been, but they'll surely go home soon. Wombat was mistaken. Days passed. Then one morning, Wombat awoke to an odd smell. No, it's more like a smell that isn't, thought Wombat. He tiptoed past the sleeping guests and peeked outside the burrow. The smoke had cleared. The ground was cool, so Wombat said, go home. Wombat said, go home. It's safe for you to rove and roam, and time for me to be alone. Scatter-doll, Sue, go home. Thank you, you, said a small voice. Wombat frowned as he plucked Sugar Glider from his pocket. Go home. Sugar Glider sighed. No home to go to. Wombat's ears twitched. He clacked his teeth. He made an odd, whickling sound. And finally, Wombat said, come in. Bye, friends. Please subscribe to my channel.